to hear that, like, wow, like, my dad wanted me dead.
I mean, I think the part where he wanted me aborted was kind of, like, told to me a couple years ago, but knowing that I was an unplanned pregnancy was never really, like, a closed subject.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of always knew, like, okay, like, I do go to my biological dad's house every month.
Yeah.
So I knew what had happened. It had just never really been, like, anything important to me, because, I don't know, it had never really registered how nobody else really had that around me.
Yeah.
And then I think I was, like, 12 when I finally understood, like, hey, like, abortion is a real issue, and I learned, like, I could have been aborted, and that was something that kind of just clicked and was like, whoa. Oh my gosh, like,
it's heavy.
I might not have been here if my mom hadn't, like, chosen life. So that kind of, like, inspired me to start working on doing whatever I can to help other mothers in that situation, knowing that, like, people like me wouldn't be here.
It's one thing, you know, to say you're pro-life and to say you're against abortion, because we know lots of people like that, pastors, Christians, they say they're pro-life, but then you turn around, they vote for Democrats who uphold abortion, or they say they're pro-life, but they say, except in case of rape or incest, or whatever, and we're like, I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Life isn't debatable, yeah.
Like, I don't know, you're not pro-life like I'm pro-life, but it's another thing when it's actually, like, part of your story.
Yeah.
You know, so I have, like, friends like Melissa Oden who are abortion survivors. Like, they actually survived the procedure. But even if it's not that intense, learning that my life was actually in one way hanging in the balance, you know, and your father could have tripled down and really pressured you and hounded you and manipulated you. And some men get physically abusive if the woman doesn't get the abortion. Like, so to hear that and to learn that story, like, whoa, like that obviously is going to make you pro-life in a way that the rest of the culture isn't when they say they're pro-life. And so you start a pro-life Instagram account. You've done sidewalk counseling. You've stood outside of abortion centers. You've held signs. You've prayed.
She makes care packages.
Yeah. It's like just things like pamphlets, resources.
Yeah.
Because we have, like, a pregnancy clinic in town that we're trying to get running, like, I don't know.
Yeah, she's very educated.
You're on the board of a local pregnancy resource center.
Yeah, I just joined Ohana Health. Yeah, so that's exciting. I'm excited to see what that does in this community. You know, just hopefully it can be kind of like a city on a hill.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So Cheyenne, what is it like with your generation? You go to a wonderful church, obviously, but you must know young people who are pro-choice or who are not sure what they think about the topic, especially right now with this being one of the probably the single greatest topic being talked about right now. And you know what the secular culture is telling your generation, Cheyenne, and what Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and AOC are saying. They're saying, oh, these pro-life Republicans are setting women back 150 years. I think Nancy Pelosi said the other day when Roe versus Wade was overturned, she said this feels like such a slap in the face to women. Right. So do you feel like they're slapping you around? And do you feel like you've been set back 150 years? Like, what would you say to young people of your age group who are crying that women don't have rights anymore?
Yeah. If anything, it's empowering to know that there are people there that are willing to embrace the life that you're bringing into the world, and not just disregard it and say, we'll just get rid of it. You know, there's actually people there that want to support you and follow you through with giving you resources and things that you need instead of doing a procedure. And I think we're definitely moving forward in that decision to overturn Roe.
I had asked Cheyenne that question because that comes up a lot. You know, are we moving? You know, a lot of people are like, why are we moving backwards? And she's like, we're not. We're moving forwards because now we're giving rights to children, you know, and so that's amazing and that should be celebrated. We have all this scientific technology that now we can see that it is a life at conception. Science says this is a life at conception because that's when your genetic code is created.
If anything, biology is moving forward and understanding when life starts. I mean, we say women's rights, but we never say when they start. And so I think it's so important to just, at conception, it is a woman.
Yep.
Right.
That's right.
So,
and the attack is like these Christians, you know, well, that's science says it's a life. Christian says that life has value.
96% of biologists say life begins at conception, but 85% of them are still pro-choice.